Yes. Welcome back to the GT Counter Podcast. My name is Tyler. Joining me, as always, my guy Grayson Winters. G, what's up, dude?
What's going on, Ed? Oh man. I think we got early kickoff right here. Yeah, great stuff this week. Some crazy stuff going on in the world of college football, and I think I'll let you just take it away right now. I think we're ready.
Somehow, the biggest story in my college football life at the moment is not Texas just beating the absolute tar out of Oklahoma on Saturday, because Penn State did a thing that I didn't think they would do, that a lot of people I think are surprised that they did. And that is they fired James Franklin, who when he took this job in 2014, this is right like 3 years after the whole Sandusky thing and with Joe Pa and things of that nature. So this was a program in shambles when he took it. Like, do you know who the head coach was before James Franklin got to Penn State?
No, I don't think I do, but I know the program was in absolute shambles before he stepped in.
The head coach the previous year before James Franklin was Bill O'Brien,
Oh
who is
wow.
who is now at BC after doing a lengthy tour in the NFL.
Yeah.
Shows you where the program was at. They were not a good program. They were ineligible from bowl games because the NCAA banned them. They were not in a good place as a program. Like, remember they had the 1 year where because Penn State traditionally doesn't have the names on the back of their jerseys or whatever. They had
Yeah.
the 1 year where they put names on the back of their jersey because of everybody who stayed. They had the fat kicker. Remember that? It was like Big Julius or whatever.
I
He
do
was like
remember
the
that.
story of their team there for a while. So, like, when you look at where Penn State was as a program before James Franklin, it was bad. It was bad, bad, bad. And so they make a good hire. They go get James Franklin out of Vanderbilt, and the rest is history, man. It's 12 years pretty much of him going. I mean, he won over 100 games at this program, 104 and 45, tied for the second most wins in program history. Did not get the chance to earn that 105th win after losing 3 games in a row to Oregon, UCLA, and Northwestern. Um, Shocking. I'll be completely honest with you. I know, like, there's a ton of other Penn State stories. Drew Aller's hurt now for the year. His college career's done unless he wins a legal case against the NCAA, which I don't even know if he's going to try for.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't have a head coach. It's. I just want to get your thoughts on the whole thing because there's a lot to unpack here.
Do you, do you think this was an early trigger pull? I mean, I know he's had a bad reputation against top 10 teams and he's done this and he's done that, but you go and play in a Big Ten championship last year, you go and go deep in the playoffs, and you're just like, yep, 3 losses in a row. Let's can the guy. Let's get on out of here. This isn't our dude. It's just, I don't know. I think it was a little bit of a early trigger pull to pull the carpet out on him, but I mean, I'm not worried for James Franklin. His $50 million buyout, he's going to be happy as a clam, and he's going to find a head coaching job, no problem, if he wants to find one. I mean, who knows? He might go ride out this $50 million and go sit out on the beach for 2 years and then decide he wants to come back to the college football scene later on. But there's a lot to unpack. But I don't know. Do you think this was an early trigger pull?
100%. 100%. Just think about it. Like, they're up they're up 24-17 in overtime against Oregon, and Oregon's got fourth down in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Oregon converts it. They score. They score again in double overtime, and Drew Aller throws a pick. But they are literally 2 yards away from winning that game. And if that happens, I don't think the rest of this happens. I don't think they lose to UCLA. I don't think they lose to Northwestern. I think they let one game beat them twice, and then twice beat them 3 times. So it's kind of weird how you see that. And then even going further back, this is a team that was tied at 24 against Notre Dame in the playoffs with the football, going to go try to kick a field goal and win the game. Drew Aller throws a pick, common theme. Notre
Yeah.
Dame kicks a field goal, goes to the national championship game. If those two things go different, I don't think we're sitting here today talking James Franklin fired.
Yeah.
It seems very knee jerk to me that they're going to let two very small sample size things kind of lead them to this decision. And yes, they've started lose. They lost these last two games they should not lose. That in James Franklin's history with them at Penn State, he hasn't lost. They typically lose the games they're supposed to lose, win the games they're supposed to win, and they go like 10-2. That is what it is. And that is a very good place for a program to be. So for Penn State to think they can get better, I just don't know if they can. Like, how many coaches are better than James Franklin who want that job after seeing that Penn State made such a like rash decision in firing the guy? Like, I just don't know who they think they are, thinking that they
I
can get a better coach than that.
yeah, I'm a little bit unsure about this, and I think that good on James Franklin to get his money, and he's gonna go head somewhere else that's gonna be, maybe a better spot than where he was at currently. I mean, it seems like Penn State is kind of at a point in time where he was, maybe he was gonna jump ship after this season anyways. I mean, you don't know where his head was at, especially losing those 3 games in a row. Drew Aller leaving. I mean, he had a lot of good recruits coming in. He had the number one back in the class of 2027 that was going to be coming in that has now decommitted from Penn State. Looks to be coming to the Irish, visiting this week. Let's go. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I think Penn State is very, very dumb, and it'll be really interesting to see where they go from here. Because who are you going to hire that's going to be available to step in that's going to be better than him? I mean,
I
yeah,
So there's a couple ways that we can go from here with this. So the rest of the year, Penn State's 3-3. I think at this point it's safe to say they're out of the playoff discussion. They're 0-3 in Big Ten play, which is
yeah,
last in conference. They go to Iowa this week. Preseason, they were a 10-point favorite. They're 3-point underdogs right now. Obviously, no Aller, and you've downgraded Penn State quite a bit. But I don't know if you should have any expectations for Penn State going forward this year. Like, they could go 3-9, they could go 8-4. Maybe not 8-4. They play both Ohio State and Indiana. They could go 7-5, and it wouldn't shock me. They could go 3-9, and it wouldn't shock me. Like, there's a wide range of outcomes here, which is going to be very fascinating considering the portal's now open for a month, and then it's going to reopen for them at the end of the season when
yeah.
they see who they hire and are they potentially going to get recruited above with their portal guys. Like, there could be just an insane amount of turnover with
Yeah,
this team right now. And like, if you're a stud who maybe has missed a game or two already due to injury, and you haven't played your 4 games yet and you can redshirt, like, why wouldn't you?
I
At
agree.
this point, everything's gone. Why stick around?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's it's just, I mean, this is going to do a lot of bad for Penn State's team in general. You're going to lose a lot of guys to the portal right here, hopping out. A lot of these guys, dudes like Singleton that were supposed to be higher ranked draft picks, or their draft stock has just fallen to the ground at this point in time. And you know, nothing would shock me more than at the end of the day, the Penn State and Penn State fashion would somehow beat Ohio State in the end of the year. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It would just be a big, huge FU to college football. Stamp it right on top.
That would be funny. So the Franklin part of it all, I think he can kind of name his job. Like, if Florida eventually does come open with Napier, I think they're probably just waiting for the bye week, the second one. It's coming up sometime beginning of November. Wouldn't be surprised if they moved on from him there. I think he would take Florida. I think he would take several jobs. And the butterfly effect of this opening, I wonder if it encourages other teams who maybe weren't quite ready to make a change. See
Yeah.
that, hey, James Franklin's available. That's going to open up a big old butterfly effect here. Maybe we're ready to move on. That way we can try to go get Franklin. Like, maybe LSU is in that boat with BK. Maybe BK gets a wandering eye. Things aren't exactly rosy there at LSU. What happens if USC goes 7-5, 8-4 again? Is Lincoln maybe going to get antsy? Is USC going to get antsy with him?
Yeah.
You've got Auburn that's probably going to open up. Florida, as we mentioned. North Carolina, which poured out a ton of resources for Bill Belichick, only to see this be an absolute cluster. Maybe they go invest in James Franklin. Like, obviously, they don't have to pay a buyout to Penn State anymore. Penn State already paid it to him.
Yeah.
So there's no expense in that. It's just got to go sign him to a contract. So it could get real interesting with Franklin. And I think there will be some openings that would probably surprise you because somebody thinks they can go get Franklin or somebody similar, whether it be a Lincoln Riley. I don't think anybody wants Napier or Hugh Freeze, but there's going to be some openings that people want, and it might cause teams to get a little bit more antsy for a hire.
Yeah, and I saw Bud Elliott was posting earlier today on Twitter, or X, I guess is called now. Posting earlier on X, and he showed his list of potential job openings in college football, ranked by biggest dollar number that they can throw at him. And it was Florida, Auburn, North Carolina, OU were the top four teams in that list. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he landed at any of those four schools. Um, there's other schools on the list. Apparently Arkansas is the one of the lowest funded football programs in the country. Supposedly, I could imagine that they were low in the SEC. I couldn't have imagined that they would be on the same level as UCLA. But they're right on board with UCLA according to Bud Elliott. So
Well, because a lot like UCLA, they're spending on other sports. UCLA is spending on basketball and on baseball and on volleyball. Well, Arkansas is spending on basketball because they brought in Calipari. They're spending on baseball because they have that nice stadium out there. They want to keep it full. So they got other irons in the fire. And football, for whatever reason, is not at the front of it. So
yeah,
does that change with the new coach? Does Walmart or Tyson Chicken pony up more money? I don't know. It just seems like they're kind of tapped out there now. But yeah, so that tweet, assuming from Bud Elliott on Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, assuming current spending level, not hypothetical money they could spend, your big spenders in order are Florida, Penn State, Auburn, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan State, South Carolina, Vatech, Maryland, Okie State, then Arkansas, UCLA, Kentucky, BC. Those are kind of some of your realistic openings as of yet, not your shocking ones. Maybe
yeah.
Oklahoma, maybe Oklahoma would be shocking to some. I wouldn't call it shocking, but
I think eight
it's
8-4 Oklahoma, 7-5 Oklahoma. Venables is getting the can, dude. I just couldn't imagine that fan base sitting around and watching their team continue to be a detriment to
pantsed by Steve Sarkisian.
their second year in a row they haven't scored a touchdown in Austin or in Dallas. So good
By
work.
the time next year's game rolls around, it'll be over 1,000 days since Oklahoma scored a touchdown on Texas.
Is it 3 years in a No, it's 2 years in a row,
2 years in a
right?
row. Next year will
There
be
you go,
year
Seth.
3.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
But
Oh, disgusting.
one of the ones we don't have in the rundown, Michigan State got absolutely obliterated by UCLA. I'm kind of out on the Aiden Childs, Jonathan Smith of it all. I'm good with the change there. No thanks.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Who are
And
your
Luke Fickle at Wisconsin is the most fired coach in college football right now.
Yes, he will be getting tagged. He will be getting. See you later.
Just a
Uh,
quick preview of next week. They host Ohio State. They're 4 touchdown underdogs at home. That it is bad for Wisconsin, man.
oh goodness gracious.
Keep in mind that's the same spread that Ohio, the Bobcats had in Ohio State was 28, and Wisconsin is hosting Ohio State. That would tell you that the Ohio Bobcats would be a point spread favorite against Wisconsin.
Yeah,
It's a dead program.
that is bad news. That is bad news there. Um, who are your? We talked a little bit about this in pre-show. Who are your top guys to take on this Penn State replacement job?
The first call I'm making is to Iowa State and Matt Campbell. I think that guy is one of the few names in this coaching search that I would consider to be an upgrade over James Franklin.
Yeah.
I respect the crap out of Matt Campbell, what he's done in Ames at Iowa State. That's a program who has been historically terrible. And last year he won 10 games with them, has won more games than anybody else in program history, and has put out more NFL players than anybody in program history. Last year they put out 2 NFL wide receivers. Iowa
Yeah.
State, 2 NFL wide receivers.
Yeah.
He's just done such a good job there with recruiting. He develops guys. Imagine giving him the resources to go portal and go recruit even higher star guys. Like, I could not respect Matt Campbell any further. He is call number one that I'm making. And there's a lot of steam about Matt Rule because he's a Penn State alum. He didn't exactly shut that down at his press conference today. He kind of left that door open, talking about how much he loved Penn State, how it was his alma mater. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're setting it up already. So you've got that. He could package deal Raiola. I just don't know. It hasn't worked in the Big Ten at Nebraska. I don't know if it's going to work at Penn State, but you can sure try it. Those are kind of the two that I've heard most. I don't think Signetti's a realistic option because I think Indiana can afford to pay him. And spending wise, they're within about $3 to $5 million of each other. It's not big enough to make a difference. I think for that amount of headache, Sig would probably rather stay at Indiana.
Yeah, I agree. Other name that I saw, so apparently Patrick Kraft, the athletic director for Penn State, is really good buddies with Manny Diaz. So I saw Manny Diaz was one of the top contenders for this job as well, which I thought was, a little bit interesting after his interesting coaching career and tenors at Power Force. But I saw that was an option.
Yeah, I don't think he got the investment at Miami that Mario's getting, but I think also Mario has a lot of rich friends and they'll follow him wherever. So I don't know if that was a Manny thing compared to like a school thing or whatever it may be. I did see one interesting one. I'd like to see your reaction to this. So the owner of the Buffalo Bills, the Pagula family.
Okay.
They are big backers for Penn State, and apparently the majority owner of the Bills essentially footed 90% of this buyout for James Franklin. So you'd have to assume that the owner of the Bills is going to have a pretty big say in who is the head coach at Penn State.
Yeah.
You know who is currently on the Buffalo Bills staff who has had success in college already and might be looking to start moving up in the rung instead of just being an offensive coordinator for all of his life?
Oh, God. It's so bad that I don't know the name of this guy, but I know his face.
It'd be the former offensive coordinator of 2019 LSU, Joe Brady.
Yep.
So I would not be all that shocked if Joe Brady is a name that gets some consideration here because maybe the owner of the Bills wants to do his guy solid, get him moving up in the world. Plus, he'd still technically be on the payroll because he wants to see Penn State be better. It just makes too much sense. I think Joe Brady's a name that could get some run here.
I don't mind that at all, actually. I think that would, I know that you think 2019 LSU offense and he had everything around him that he could possibly have, but I don't mind that at all. He's done great in the NFL. So,
yeah, the Panthers were actually somewhat competitive whenever he was the OC there,
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
So anything else Penn State wise, there's going to be so much more to unpack there as this kind of hiring cycle goes. I will say Matt Rule did not exactly shut down that opening this week. They play at Minnesota on a Friday. I just might wonder if he's looking ahead a little bit. Maybe you don't get their full attention.
Yeah.
The Gophers could go in there and beat Nebraska. I don't know. We'll see, but
it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks from here. Because I think a lot of teams after seeing this will get a little bit trigger happy.
I think so too. It's going to make for an interesting portal cycle and an interesting coaching cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The carousel is getting full. It is getting full.
That's right. You better get your fast pass, buy your tickets, get in line because the seats are starting to fill up. Starting
Oh,
to fill up. Well,
yeah.
shall we talk a little Red River? I can't believe it's been 21 minutes. I haven't gotten
Oh,
to gloat about Texas at all.
oh,
23-6, your final in Dallas at the State Fair. Uh, this was a game that Oklahoma led for the entire of the first half. Uh, they were up 6-0 at one point, 6-3 right before half. And then the game switched when John Mateer, who did play in this game, although if you were just looking at the final score, you'd be like, oh, Michael Hawkins played. Oklahoma scored 6 points. It's like, no, it was John Mateer. And the whole game flipped whenever John Mateer threw that interception in the end zone right before the end of the first half. He did. So there's a lot going on with that play. Oklahoma subbed, which allowed Texas to sub. There's a running clock going. Venables didn't call his timeout whenever he started to sub for whatever reason.
yeah.
So he waits for the whole subbing process to go on. Bangs the timeout with 10 seconds left. They get back out there. I'm thinking they're just going to run like a quick out, try to get like 5 more yards, kick a field goal. They go to half up 9-3. No, it turns out they're taking a shot to the end zone. John Mateer sees Deion Burks running towards the goalpost. He's like, oh, he is wide open. Well, what John Mateer did not see is that Malik Muhammad was just lurking to the left of him, out of Mateer's sight line. Never saw him. Steps in, makes the easiest interception of his life. And Oklahoma, instead of being up 6 points at half, is only up 3. Texas gets ball out of half, goes on a 7-minute drive. They score a touchdown, go up 10-6 on a busted coverage. DeAndre Moore just wide open in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Texas gets a 3-and-out, gets the ball back. They go down, kick a field goal. It's 13-6. OU stopped again. And then the punt return happens when it's 13-6 with 10 minutes left. Ryan Niblett, 75 yards to the house. At that point, it's 20-6, and your game's kind of over given the way OU's played offense. Really, it was just the end of the first half. I thought that was the biggest turning point in the game. I just couldn't understand for the life of me why they put Mateer in that spot to throw that pick, given the pressure that he'd been under from that Texas D-line. OU not been able to run the football, his injury, lack of reps during the week, none of it made sense to me. And ultimately, OU and Venables paid for it. So good for Texas getting a much needed win. Arch looked very good in this game. Nothing spectacular, but like 21 of 27 for 160 whatever yards, touchdown, no picks, the important part. And the throw of his year, honestly, it was 3rd and 7. He was backed up on his own goal line, hits Parker Livingstone on that deep out route for a first down. It was everything you could have asked for. So from a non-Texas fan perspective, I've loved your thoughts on this game because I'll just be honest, it's sunshine and roses for me. I've watched the highlights of this game 100 times already. I just can't get enough.
You know, OU, we've said it for a while. They cannot run the ball in. It is a problem. I mean, you are not going to, in the modern day of college football, this is not the NFL. You are not going to win a football game if you can't run the football. And John Mateer could not run the football. He's not capable of. He shouldn't have been playing for starters. Every ball he threw, it looked like he was just palming it in his hand. I'm getting nonstop texts from OU fans when they go up 6-0. Texas sucks. Texas sucks again. OU's too good. We're going to blow them out. And, life smacks you upside the head really quickly. And it was just a lot of downhill for OU's offensive line. And, for a team that couldn't run the ball at all, their offense all the way across the board graded horribly. I mean, you have 53 was their overall whole entire offensive grade on PFF this week. It was just bad stuff. And OU's offensive line probably graded pretty well on PFF, but the big grade that you need to look at is if you take a look at their offensive line, how they did pass blocking wise, 34.9. It's just bad. It's just bad. A lot of that can be due to penalties and interceptions, as those are going to drop your grade there, but It's just OU's offensive line is a problem. And when you play a really, really good Texas defense, you can't throw the ball every single play, and you have to have some ground game. And you have to do what Ohio State did. You have to be able to win the trenches. And this was I watching this game from the first quarter, I knew Oklahoma was going to have trouble because they could not move the ball on the ground. Reed was saying it the whole entire game, the whole entire first half. He's like, OU's going to lose this. They can't move the ball on the ground at all. And if Texas could stay out of their own freaking way in the first half with penalty on penalty on penalty and getting behind the sticks and throwing screen passes when because you're 3rd and 23 and there's no other combination of route you can run to get a first down when they're dropping 7 dudes into coverage, it's all you can do. So when Texas got their foot forward and got in front of the sticks, they played a really, really good football. So
See, and I'm proud of us because we've been on this block that OU's offensive line was going to cause them issues. Just hadn't yet because they hadn't played anybody worth it that would actually cause those issues. You saw it in this game, man. Left tackle, Michael Fasusi. He's a true freshman. Texas wanted the kid badly. I mean, I think he's going to be a very, very good player. It's just clear that he's not ready for this yet. And nobody had exposed that yet because they hadn't been on that level. But when you're going up against Colin Simmons, Trey Moore on a rep-to-rep basis, you're going to get exposed a little bit. And sure enough, Colin Simmons gets 2.5 sacks. They have a true freshman, Lance Jackson, comes in, grades out as the best-ranking defensive player in pass rush. He played 8 snaps. True freshman. Ridiculous. So kudos to the Texas defense. They got Mateer out of rhythm. It was an early thing, too. Like, OU's best drive of the game was their first drive of the game. Their scripted portion, and even then they couldn't get it all the way in for the touchdown. It's a field goal. Texas holds. Obviously Texas gets just smoked by penalties on their next drive, but OU should have been up like 14-0, and they weren't. It was 3-0, and then it was 6-0. Then it's 6-3, and you're like, OU should probably be up like 2 scores by now, and it's just not. Texas gets the ball out of half. Sark scripts up the drive, and all of a sudden you're just on and going from there. So I don't think Oklahoma's dead. I still think they're a very good team. It's just that schedule makes it so tough because you look at what they've got coming. Their only game against a non-ranked opponent is at South Carolina, who is just as desperate, if not more desperate than Oklahoma is, because they're 3-3 and staring down the barrel of coaching changes. So, like, OU is up against it now, man. That's why they needed that game. Because if you can get that one, you're 6-0. You get South Carolina. You've got some wiggle room. Maybe you go 3-3 down the stretch. You're 9-3. You might get in. Now, I don't know where this thing goes. Mateer's clearly not himself. He looks slow. He didn't take any reps. I assume he hadn't been doing any conditioning. He looks slow. He didn't have any juice. The Oklahoma running back still couldn't do anything. 1.6 is what Oklahoma averaged per carry. 1.6 yards. That's not going to get you anywhere, man.
No.
And it accumulates. It accumulates, and they eventually just ran out of gas. So kudos to Texas. It's a big, big win. I thought Arch played really well, did everything that he needed to. And finally, a run game showed up. Trey Wisner, 94 yards. A lot of that came in the second half. It was much needed, sorely needed to get a ground game. And you finally get it. So kudos to Texas for getting themselves off the mat. It's why I like them start the week. I never wavered on this. Texas was going to be the more desperate team, and they were going to go play like it. And sure enough, you look up at the end of the game, they win by 17. They were the more desperate team. So now it's up to see how Oklahoma responds after it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, we talked about this last week. Playing Mateer was a horrible option in this game. I mean, it just was. He was not ready to come back. It's very apparent that he is not at 100%. And, I mean, you look at it from the outside in now at this point in time, and it's like Hawkins could have probably not have scored a touchdown too. I mean, what's 23-0, Etzel? I mean, what's 20?
And they blew their excuse with the committee for saying they lost their biggest game of the year when their best player didn't play.
Yeah.
Well, he played and they got smoked. They blew their excuse.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a bad deal. At this point in time, I'm scared to say that I don't know if a 3-loss Oklahoma team is going to get in the playoffs. I mean, it's possible, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to do it now. I think 3-loss Oklahoma with a loss to Texas when their starting quarterback isn't playing definitely gets in.
What do you think's more likely at this point? Oklahoma goes 7-5, or Oklahoma goes 9-3, 10-2?
I think more likely is about. I think of those two options, I think 7-5 is more likely. I think their right number is probably 8-4. If I was to guess, I think they probably lose. They'll lose to Bama. I think Ole Miss is kind of a coin toss. So is LSU. I think they could one of those games they will lose.
They're at
Um,
Tennessee.
and yeah, I think they'll lose to Tennessee.
So coming up, they're at South Carolina. Then they've got is it home Ole Miss or is it at Ole
Home,
Miss?
it's home Ole Miss
Home Ole Miss. And then they're
in
at
Rocky Top
at Tennessee, at Bama.
at home against Mizzou, and then
Home
LSU.
Mizzou, home LSU.
I think that I don't see any way that they. I mean, I don't see any way they might lose. They might lose 5 more games, maybe. I
They
mean,
could.
I think they'll lose to Tennessee because it's in Rocky Top. I think they'll lose to Bama because they're in Tuscaloosa, and I think they'll lose to Mizzou because I'm high on Mizzou. Ole Miss and LSU, I'm very low on. I don't think either one of them are spectacular teams at all. I think they'll still probably lose one of those games, and I definitely think that if they lose Tennessee, Bama, Mizzou all in a row, that LSU just seems like it's just a money spot for them to lose to. I
Yeah.
mean, just end the season 4 in a row. So
That's why this game was such an inflection point. Because if they won it, you could easily convince me this gives them the momentum to go like 10-2, 11-1.
yeah,
Instead, I think everything's on the table from here. Nothing would shock me with this team. They're just their defense is elite. Maybe not elite. It's very good. I don't think their defense is as good as like Ohio State, even Texas, or some of
Miami.
those teams, but it's a top 5 to 10 defense in the country.
Yeah.
The offense is just so far behind it. I just wonder how long they can hold on to the thing, you know?
I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, in their benefit, Ole Miss and LSU's offenses are just as bad, and so is South Carolina's. But you're not going to hold a candle against Tennessee, Bama, or Mizzou. Those offenses are freaking high flying machines. And Ty Simpson might be the best quarterback in college football right now.
Yeah, if Ty Simpson's protected, he's going to throw for
Pick,
many, many, many hundreds of yards.
he'll pick his
You.
number. He'll
Yeah.
pick his number. Yeah.
It might start with a 4.
Yeah. He'll do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. Yeah. He is very, very good. Yeah.
So there's just a lot of different directions this thing could go. I'm interested to see what way it does go. Nothing would shock me from here on out.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And the SEC is going to get weird. And there will be a 3-loss team that gets into the playoffs out of the SEC. There might be multiple 3-loss teams that get into the playoffs out of the SEC. It's just a matter of time to see where this thing goes. But if I was to guess on it, I would say that Ole Miss and LSU, there's a very good chance if they're ranked, that they're in the 20s by the end of the season. Because I am not high on either one of those teams. I think Bama, Mizzou. I'm iffy on Tennessee. I'm iffy on Georgia.
Oh, we'll talk Georgia. We will talk
Yeah,
Georgia.
yeah, I was about to say,
So
but
from the Texas side of things, just get me to Georgia at 2 losses. They've got they're at Kentucky this week. Then they are at Mississippi State, home Vanderbilt. Those are your 3 games leading up to Georgia. I think all 3 of them they'll be favored to win in. That would get them to Georgia at 7-2. Get me to that spot, and we'll take our chances. Because Georgia, as we're going to talk right now, has been fraudulent in their own right in many, many regards. So I don't know how unbeatable they are even in Georgia.
yeah.
I just wonder. So I'd take my shot. If they're 7-2 going to Athens, I think that's a pretty good outcome.
And I think this Georgia team is going to be beat down from hell by the time they get to the Texas game, because it might not look like a super big gauntlet outlook in these next 3 games, but Ole Miss, you don't know what Florida team you're going to get. And then Mississippi State playing at home for Mississippi State, they're going to keep that game close. They're going to keep it close.
With
Um,
shape and healthy, Mississippi State's a problem.
yeah, yeah. So,
And
I,
Georgia, like, let's talk this Auburn game real quick. So Auburn's up 10-0, and they've got the ball at the 1. Arnold goes to sneak it in. Bang, bang called. It's called a fumble on the field, but then they blow it dead, so the return for a touchdown doesn't count. The officials just totally botched this. I thought it was a fumble live. You look at the replay, pretty bang, bang. I could see why you don't overturn it. But then at that point, why as an official are you blowing the thing dead when the ball is literally just sitting there on the pile?
yeah,
Like, it could not be more free at that moment. The Georgia guy picks it up. He keeps his elbow off the ground. He's got his hand on the ground, keeping himself up, picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown. But it's blown dead at that point, so it doesn't count. What did you think in real time? Did you think it was a fumble? Did you think he got in? What did you
I
think?
I think live time, I think it was a fumble. I think when I watched the replay, I really felt like it was a touchdown. And I really found it hard to believe that they didn't call it a touchdown. But I also think the officiating crews, not only in this game, but all over the country, have been unbelievably poor this year. Officiating has just been really, really on the downside, which stinks because that can influence a game like nobody's business. I mean, if you've seen I'm sure everybody that's listening has seen the video on X where Kirby Smart says, "No, I wasn't calling a timeout. I wasn't calling a timeout." You're literally holding a tee and smacking your fingers together. You're not clapping, you ding dong.
Those refs, man, they let Kirby officiate the game himself pretty much.
Yeah.
He's over there barking at him the whole time, pointing stuff out. There's flags getting thrown. I mean, it was piss poor, to be completely honest with you. It's stuff I would expect to see in the GAC, not in the
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah. I can't wait for them to lose to Georgia Tech. Oh gosh. Make my
Oh man, took
make
it
my
into my
year.
veins.
Make my year.
Speaking of, Georgia Tech's an underdog this week at Duke. I'm
Yep,
surprised by that.
I saw that. I saw that. What does Vegas know that we don't?
Something apparently.
Yeah.
But so I do feel bad for Auburn fans because this is the second game this year where they've kind of been screwed out of one. Against Oklahoma, you had the fake substitution that the SEC came out and said should have been flagged. Then in this one, you've got a multitude of ref issues. You got to
Yeah.
feel bad for him, especially well, I don't feel bad for Hugh Freeze about anything. That guy's a scumbag, but his job is on the line here. And obviously Jackson Arnold, their butts are on the hot seat right now. So, if those two things go a different way, maybe they're not staring down the barrel getting fired. So for that part of it, it obviously stinks. But it just feels like officiating is at its worst. And this game in particular, maybe because it was primetime ABC, it just felt awful, man. It felt so bad. And I don't know what we're going to do to fix it. We've got to either start firing these dudes or publicly hold them accountable, make them go to pressers. Hugh Freeze had to go to a press conference after that game and answer for what he did. Those players
Yeah.
had to go to a press conference after that game and answer for what they did. The officials, game ends, they're on a jet. They're flying home, man.
Yeah.
Let them answer for what they call.
So on the topic of Auburn football right here and talking about the hot seat and everything. Hugh Freeze, I imagine, is on the hot seat, but do you think there's a strong possibility that Auburn could say, "Here's some money. Go get me a transfer portal quarterback that's better than Stinky Jackson Arnold, and we're giving you one more year because this defense is elite."
They could. They've got the receivers for it too. Cam Coleman is an elite player. You got Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech last year.
Yeah.
Look, they're just missing the quarterback and some offensive line stuff too. But like you said, the defense is there. I just wonder about the coach. I'm not sure that Hugh Freeze still has the fastball that he once did. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they were like, yeah, Hugh, we'll give you one more chance. The thing that screwed Auburn last year, because they were going to do the whole buy a quarterback thing, which is how they ended up with Arnold. but all the quarterbacks didn't go in the portal.
Yeah.
A lot of them stayed. Like Quinn Ewers would have been high on that list, but instead of staying in school, he went to the draft. Or other guys like Aller stayed at Penn State. You didn't really have a Georgia guy because Carson Beck, although he did portal, kind of seemed set in stone that he was destined for Miami with his then at the time Cavender girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
you're not really gonna, if you're Auburn, you're probably not spending big money on Miller Moss from USC.
No.
Nico, I mean, you saw it at Tennessee. You're probably not going to spend a ton of money there. All the quarterbacks that you thought might go in the portal didn't. So you're stuck with Jackson Arnold, and that puts you in a tough spot.
And you know what? Shame on Auburn because I'll say it. Should have went for Steve. Should have went for Steve Angeli. He's the
Should
freaking.
have.
He's a man. He's a man. Let him cook. Should have
They
went
could
for
try again
Steve.
this offseason.
I would
Actually,
imagine.
I think he's out. Yeah.
I would imagine that that a very high transfer portal quarterback this year is going to be Kenny Minchie from Notre Dame, the backup. He fought for the starting spot over CJ Carr. Was said was going to be the starter at one point in time during camp, and then CJ Carr came back out as the front runner, and he's looked really good in all the games that he's gotten to play. Through a touchdown against Arkansas, and he'll be a front runner and whatever he wants to be when he enters the portal after the season, I would imagine, because CJ.
There could be some interesting portal guys. Like if Arizona falters down the stretch, does Fafita finally hit the portal? Does you look maybe to TCU, they just got housed by K-State. Is Hoover available? Sawyer Robertson, does he maybe search around? There's options. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's going to be interesting.
yeah, I totally agree. Sorry, this completely besides the point. Coach, that came to my thought process for the Penn State job. Thoughts on Kenny Dillingham?
He'd be a great hire.
I
He
think
really
so
would
too.
be. He's a program builder. His energy, I think, is infectious, and I think at a place like Penn State, that would be really good. So
Yeah,
I think any program who would get the chance to hire Kenny, I think would be in a pretty good place. I just think that Penn State, like pride wise, I'm not sure they could get there, but I think it'd be a very strong choice.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Um, Anything else from last week? You've got USC put an absolute chokehold on Michigan. That game really wasn't even that close. USC turned it over going in for scores twice. It could have been like 45-13, but
Yeah.
ended up being an easy 3-score victory for the Trojans there at home.
Are we a SEC podcast only, and we don't talk about Oregon and Indiana
Oh,
anymore?
shoot. I forgot about that. Good grief. How about that? Yes, Oregon at home against Indiana. Indiana 30, Oregon 20. I had Oregon in this game, and it felt like the wrong side right from the rip. Like I never felt like Oregon was in control of this game. Um, and really, even when like Indiana threw that pick six in the fourth quarter to make it 20 apiece, and you start to think to yourself, like, is this the spot where Oregon starts to, they get a stop, they get a score, and your game's kind of over at that point? No, it in fact was not, because you look up all of a sudden, Indiana drives it right back down the field, score a touchdown to go up 7, get another stop, kick the field goal to go up 2 scores, game over. Dante Moore never looked comfortable in this game. Oregon couldn't really do anything offensively in the second half. They had like 70 yards. It was, I mean, you just can't be more impressed with Indiana than what you are.
I completely agree. And I was telling you before the game that I thought that Indiana was much improved on offensive line and defensive line play on both sides of the ball. And Indiana ran the ball really, really well in this game. I mean, 111 yards on the ground. That's moving the ball on Oregon when you talk about ground game. Um, Kurt Signetti, dude's got big balls, man. He's playing. He's
He
coaching his
wins.
tail off right now. Yeah, he's coaching his tail off right now. And I think if you're any team in the country, you're scared to play Indiana. I mean, they're a good football team, and you know, I saw the stat that he has 0 5 stars on his team, and what was it, 14 or 15 total 4 stars on the whole entire roster. And this guy just gets it done. He just gets it done. So
Development and portal, it's impressive, man. Like one of their best players is Elijah Surratt, who was at James Madison. Saw him play here in Fort Worth whenever he was at JMU against Air Force in the Armed Forces Bowl. Kid went off then. He was a stud at James Madison. Guess what? In the Big Ten, he's one of the best receivers in the conference.
yeah,
Kid's an absolute gamer. Omar Cooper is there too. He's also a stud. Like they've got weapons. Mendoza is like clearly better than Curtis Rourke was. It's you just see it, man. And the defense has improved. And if I was going to be wrong in this game, which I was going to be wrong on Oregon because they'd done the things before, and Indiana hadn't. But that was last year's Indiana, and this year's Indiana, I think, is very, very clearly much better than last year's was, and they proved it. They're a bona fide contender. I think maybe it would shock me if they won a national title, but it wouldn't shock me at all if they won a playoff game or two. Not
it
at all.
it definitely wouldn't shock PFF because through 7 weeks they are the number one offense in the country and tied for the number two defense in the country in total grading. So you
There wouldn't be 5 or 6 teams that they're not favored against in the country, and that number might be smaller
yeah,
after what they did on Saturday.
yeah. Talking about this was my interesting stat for you, by the way. Talking about favoring and who's favored over who. Um, the AP poll is essentially almost impossible to get right nowadays, and everybody wants to cry about it every single week, and because NIL has just made everything just shambled. Well, power ratings going back to 2019, the difference between the number one team and the number 17 team, Etzel, on a neutral site, what would have been the spread?
I saw this. I think it was like 18 points between number 1 and number 18 or 19.
Yep, 17 and a half. Yep. And
Now it's
in
like what, 7, 8?
six and a half, less than a touchdown between the number one
Holy
team in the
cow.
country and number 17. So,
Holy cow.
and the NIL has allowed us to be 11-point difference and make college football just that much better. So for you haters out there that are NIL haters and you hate paying players, well, you hate good football games too. So,
Exactly. So here's what from Brad Powers on Twitter X. College football ratings. He has Ohio State number 1. They would be a 4.5-point favorite over anybody in the country.
yes.
Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3, Oregon. Number 4, Indiana. 3 teams favored over Indiana.
Yeah.
That's crazy in the year of our Lord 2025. And
And
then
none of them are SEC. I'm
no,
sorry.
right after that, you've got Bama at 5, Miami at 6, A&M 7, Georgia 8, Texas 9, LSU 10 would be your hypothetical power rating. But to that point, I'll leave Ohio State out because they're favored by over a field goal against anybody. Number 2, Notre Dame to we'll make this round numbers here. Number 20, Clemson would be a 9-point difference between number 2 and number 20. I mean, you put Clemson on home field against Notre Dame, that spread's like Notre Dame minus 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like there's just not much separation. Anybody can be got, which is kind of what the whole point of Red River was, right? Like Oklahoma wasn't that much different than Texas. Indiana, not that much different than Oregon. It's part of it, man. It's what makes there are a lot of faults with college football, from money wise to the portal, coaches, buyouts, you name it, tons of issues. But the product on Saturdays has never been better because anybody can be gotten. And that's what makes Saturdays in the fall so unique, so special. Is because, I mean, yes, Notre Dame's favored by 4.5 over anybody. Would it shock you as if in a Big Ten title game, it's Notre Dame and Indiana, and it's in Indianapolis, and you look up and all of a sudden Indiana's up by 7 in the fourth quarter? No. Wouldn't. It's just unique to see, and that's the part of the game that you got to embrace because it's things like that are what are going to keep programs around. Because, I mean, you could look at it right now. There's probably 25 programs who think they can still make the playoff.
Yeah.
At least. And that's not even including the G5, like South Florida, like Tulane, like Memphis.
Yeah. Like UNLV.
Oh, they're frauds. Don't get me started on them.
What's the other team in the Mountain West? Well, Navy's going to be
Oh, San
they'll
Diego
fall off.
State.
Yep, San Diego State, and it's scary because that San Diego State team could beat UNLV, has beaten Cal, and they beat some other ACC team. Who did they beat?
Let me go find San Diego State.
They beat some bad ACC team. Anyways, point being made. The American is going to get so beat up that you could see one loss, this one loss San Diego State team making the playoff out of the Mountain West, just because it's going to get so messy in that American Conference.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, they beat Washington, or they lost to Washington State by 23, which is wild.
Yeah.
They beat Cal by 34. They beat NIU 6-3. Then they beat Colorado State by 21, and they beat Nevada by 34.
Okay.
Rest of the year they're on bye. Then they got Wyoming, or I'm sorry, they have Fresno State, then Wyoming. They go to Hawaii. They host Boise, and then San Jose and New Mexico. Like it's doable.
Yeah.
And Boise still carries name brand weight, even though they're not very good. They still carry enough name brand weight where that win would matter.
It would. It would 100%. It would 100%. So I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. The G5. I had somebody try to tell me that Memphis wasn't a good team earlier today, and they're ranked. So I guess the rankings don't mean anything nowadays either. So whatever.
They can play, man. They haven't been. I mean, they beat Arkansas, which
I
mean everybody is, I guess,
by 1 point. By 1 point, but I mean,
yeah. So, any other games that I just have a blind spot on? That was bad. Yikes! I can't believe I missed that one.
Florida played Texas A&M, but I don't know how much you care about that one. It was kind of a
bad Florida showed up. Bad Florida showed up.
It was kind of a stomp down.
Feels like we're setting up for Billy's last stand against Georgia in Jacksonville. What was the world's largest outdoor cocktail party?
Yeah. Tennessee almost loses to Arkansas.
Defense optional. The game still went under 65 points, and it still went under.
One other game I'd like to touch on. Old Dominion. What in the world? What are we doing?
They got caught looking ahead to playing James Madison, and little old Marshall. You look up, and they're down 38 points in the fourth quarter, and it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, what were they, Edsel? They were 12-point favorites, and we picked them to cover.
14.5-point favorites, and I took them.
We took them to cover, yeah, indeed. We went 1 for 4 in our picks this week, but on the bright side, we hit the Texas under, so it's all good.
We did get that.
We got the under, so that was a given. We missed the Ohio State under. Our Mean Green lost, and Old Dominion did not cover. So all stinky stuff.
I got to be better, but I have a good feeling about this week. I do.
Okay. I love it.
Anything else week 7 before we kick the can to week 8?
I think I'm good.
Let's do it. All right. We'll start with the biggest game of the week, and then we'll work our way backwards, kind of in day order here. I want to start this with you. We haven't talked Notre Dame yet. USC goes to Notre Dame. That's a night game on NBC. Sounds like USC is going to be right out their stud running back, which might be an issue here. Notre Dame's out to like 9.5, 10-point favorites. It seems like to me this is a college football playoff eliminator game. USC 2 losses was still what they've got coming. Notre Dame already with 2 losses. Seems like last stand time here for both these teams, which should make for a competitive football game. But I want to get your thoughts on what we've got here.
As a Notre Dame fan, I'm always scared. I never feel optimistic about a game, but I feel really good about how our defense has played the last 2 weeks. We need to clean up some stuff offensively, but I'm not too worried about scoring points against Riley. Lincoln Riley. Never been scared about scoring points against Lincoln. So last time, because of Lincoln Riley, that Notre Dame's going to play USC potentially. So I think this is going to be a personal game for Marcus Freeman, and he's going to lay the hammer down on these guys. And if you know anything about Marcus Freeman, it's that he's going to run the score up. So as many possible points as you can score, he's going to try to score. So it's just will be a good telltale to see is USC good or is Michigan really just a piss poor football team? Which I would imagine Michigan's just a piss poor football team, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and USC traveling multiple time zones. Their loss this year came when they traveled multiple time zones out east and lost to Illinois. They played Purdue closer than they should have when they traveled back to Indiana for this one. It just feels like Notre Dame's game to me, but 9.5, 10 points is a lot. So I don't know. I'll probably stay away from it. Might lean under. Total's like 61.5. I could see this game being like 34-24.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm just telling you, I'll tell you one thing, man. Irish have covered 2 weeks in a row. So if it's time to pull the trig, you can pull it at 8.5 right now. It looks like the line has gotten down to.
Good.
It's weaseled down. So
we'll see. We'll see. Tennessee is going to Bama. That is also at the same time, 6:30 on Saturday night. It looks like Alabama's at 8.5, 9-point favorite in this game. Look, I don't know if Tennessee's defense is quite as elite as it was last year. I think Alabama's, for all of their faults offensively, I think they are still strong enough to be able to put up points. This is a home game, although it is a tough spot because Bama's played 3 straight ranked opponents. This is their 4th. No breaks. It's a big rivalry game. Feels like Bama could trip up here, but I think they'll win. But against the number, I mean, look, 8.5 points is a big number. No thanks from me, but it should be a fascinating game. These rivalry games are always elite, man.
Give me the over here, big time, 58.5. I think that's almost free. I'm looking on ESPN right now, so I'm sorry I don't have my actual live betting app opened up. We're having technical difficulties as I'm podcasting on my phone right now, but really looks good with the mic right here. But
it does. It does. It's a pro operation over there.
Is the line still at 58.5?
It is. It is. You can get
love that. I love that. I think that line is great.
Yep. Holy War. We've got Utah going to BYU. BYU is somehow 6-0 with a quarterback who wears number 47. I think Utah's impressive. I know they got boated by Tech, but that loss to Tech looks like, yeah, it's not great, but it looks not as bad today given that they've dump trucked everybody. Give me Utah here. I think they beat BYU in what should be a hostile environment there in Salt Lake City. Or Provo, actually. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Utah covers this. 3.5. 3.5 sounds pretty good to me here.
Yeah. And then the other biggest game, 2:30 kick. We've got a big one in Georgia with Ole Miss coming to town. Georgia's 7-point favorite right now, total 54.5. I just don't have any confidence in Georgia covering a big number right now. I'm sorry. Like, they've not looked very good. Their offense struggles. Gunnar Stockton can't really throw it all that well. I don't trust their run game all that much, to be completely honest with you. The defense, they don't quite get after you on the defensive line like they always have in the past. I don't know, but I think Mississippi's also on fraud watch. So these could be 2 fraudulent teams. Give me the under. I think this game's more like 24-17, 28-21, something like that. I'll take under 54.5.
Yeah, I really like that as well. That's kind of where I was leaning on this. Both of these teams have pretty good defenses, and both of these teams their offenses are lackluster. Even though Ole Miss's quarterback is somehow in the Heisman running as the 7th quarterback on the list, not really. Yeah, he's like 7 on the board right now, so kind of interesting to me. But to each their own. CJ Carr is not on the list, so good work.
Yeah, great job there by everybody involved.
Yeah.
Um,
what a good committee we got here.
yeah, right. To the rundown of games, we got Louisville at Miami on Friday night in Miami. Miami's a 2 touchdown favorite. I'm not sure Louisville's all that good, but I think they're good enough to hang here.
Yep.
Miami's always due for a letdown spot too. I could see Louisville hanging around.
I think so as well. I would agree.
Also, Friday night, Nebraska goes to Minneapolis to play the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. I'm not sure why this line is now 9.5 points. I would take Minnesota laying or getting over a touchdown. What has Nebraska done to be a road favorite of over a touchdown against anybody, let alone a Minnesota team? It's 4-2.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on this one either. That's interesting to me.
Especially with Rule potentially getting a wandering eye towards a job in Happy Valley.
Minnesota's got big eyes at bowl eligibility right here. This game matters a little bit more to the boys.
It does. It does. Give me the ghosts.
Uh,
North Carolina, Bill Belichick, not retiring yet, allegedly, is going to Cal Friday night. Cal's like a 10-point favorite. I don't see how UNC does anything. They haven't done anything yet. No thanks. I might not even watch this game.
yeah, the over under is really really small on this as well, and I'm really unclear on what to think on either side of this. Yeah, North Carolina stinks. Put it on Cartoon Network.
11 a.m. Saturday, undefeated, number 12 ranked Georgia Tech is going to Duke, who has won 3 games in a row. And Duke is a home favorite against the ranked team as an unranked team. Somebody might know something here. I hope they don't because I like Georgia Tech a lot. But I don't know. Shrug. The total is really high. 61.5. I would lean under, but that's about it for me here.
Yeah, I could get behind that as well. I think leaning under is pretty quality, honestly.
An inflection point for 2 Big 12 teams, Baylor and TCU here in Fort Worth. 2 teams who are 4-2 and desperately need a win. TCU is a field goal favorite at home. They're favored by home field. Total is 66.5. It's probably not high enough. Give me the over. These 2 defenses are trash.
Yeah, and these offenses could sling the rock all over the place. And that 11 a.m. game, and yeah, I think this is going to be a cool environment early in the morning for these guys. Yeah, give me the 65.5. We'll lay that one because that one almost seems free, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like, wouldn't surprise me if either quarterback here threw for like 400 yards against
Yeah,
the other team's defense.
it's going to be disgusting stuff.
Washington goes to Michigan. Michigan off that loss to USC. Washington off a big win against Rutgers last Friday. Damon Williams, first quarterback in Washington history to throw for 400 and run for 100 in the same game. They're about a 6-point underdog in Ann Arbor at 11 a.m. I would like Michigan, but it's a 9 a.m. body clock kick. Tough spot with travel. I would lay the points with Michigan, but I'm not all that confident in it.
Man, I'm kind of on the opposite side of you here. I kind of think that Washington gets. I'm not saying Washington gets this done, but 6.5 points is a lot of points for Michigan to lay on this one. I know they're coming off of a big loss last week, but I still think there's life in this Washington team. I mean, 5-1. I still think there's a lot of life in this team.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love it. I think Damon Williams is a top 5 to 10 quarterback in the country. So go do the thing, please. But it's a tough spot with travel. So we'll see. I'll be rooting for that outcome though.
Yeah.
LSU goes to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a home favorite against LSU. How about that? I know BK is gonna love that. Give me Vandy. Pavia's revenge.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to take the over on Whit Weeks throw ups. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. He's done it every game for like the last month. Yeah, Lane Kiffin's daughter's just doing something wrong to him on Friday nights, apparently.
Food poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning him on Fridays. Yeah, I love Vandy in this one. Give me the Vandy. Lay him on the points.
Go Doors. OU goes to South Carolina. What do we expect from OU? Let down off Red River. They're going to be desperate. South Carolina's desperate too. I truly have no idea. OU is a 5.5-point favorite. Low total, 43.5.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is a game South Carolina just smoked Oklahoma in last year at home. Revenge spot, tough spot after. I truly have no idea here.
I don't know what to think about this, but if I was to lean one way or the other, I would lean that OU is going to have a letdown spot here. I hope they don't for the sake of the Oklahoma fans that I'm friends with, but
Our group chats.
yes, I'm afraid this might be a letdown spot for them. That this could be a Fire Venables type of game, honestly. I mean, you lose to South Carolina and you might be hitting the road, Jack. People are quick to pull the trigger.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Kent State. They beat UMass last week for their first FBS win in over 2 years. Well done to the Flashes. That's all I had to say about them. Texas A&M goes to Arkansas. This game's no longer Jerry World, which makes me sad for here locally. But
Yeah.
in Fayetteville, back on campus, A&M about a touchdown favorite, 7.5-point favorite on the road. Total 61.5. Neither of these teams' defenses are all that good, although A&M's is starting to get there. Just a tough spot on the road at Fayetteville. This is the spot where A&M typical Aggie is. They lose this game. I'm not sure this is a typical Aggie team, but I'm telling you in the past, this is what they do here.
I think A&M takes care of business here. I don't think they're going to come in and underestimate the Razorbacks. I think Elko is going to be on his game here. I think that they'll cover the 7.5. I'm a little bit biased, but I think they'd cover the 7.5.
Gun in my head, I think they do too, but
Wow.
we'll see. Ohio State goes to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is so bad. They just got shut out by Iowa, 37-0. And now they host Ohio State, and Ohio State is a 26-point road favorite. Yikes. Fickle is so fired. It's not even funny.
ESPN has actually turned the money line off of this, so you can't even bet money line on Ohio State because they know it's free.
It's so free.
It's so free.
This isn't Penn State we're talking about here.
They won't even let you bet it. Unbelievable.
UTSA goes to UNT. UNT off that tough loss at home to South Florida. Only laying 4.5 at home against Meep Meep. I think Meep Meep can keep this one close.
Yeah, I would imagine so as well. Do you like the line on this? This 68.5. That looks like
I wouldn't take the under.
Yeah, this looks like a detrimentally high number.
Those two teams cannot defend, so I would take the over if anything. But
okay.
UNLV is fraudulent. They're 11.5-point dogs against Boise. I'd lay it. I don't think this game's close. I think Boise beats the tar out of them.
Yeah.
Texas Tech goes on the road to Arizona State. Sounds like no Sam Levitt again. Looks like we're in line for more Jeff Sims. With that being the case, I'll lay them with Tech. It's 11.5. Hammer time.
Yeah, Tech has been laying down the hammer every single week. They are, without a doubt, the front runner in the Big 12, and I would imagine the hammer is going to be laid once again. So,
speaking of Memphis, they're playing UAB, who just recently fired Trent Dilfer. Put something on the grill last night, fired up the grill. It was a celebratory day in my apartment here. So in this house, it's always been screw Trent Dilfer. So yeah, Memphis is now a 3-touchdown favorite on the road, but I just wanted to work in that I was happy that Trent Dilfer got fired. So good for me.
I don't know who it was I saw on Twitter earlier today, but some former NFL player that played at UAB came out and said, "Hire me as the coach."
Oh, it was Roddy White.
Yep, it was
former
Roddy
Falcons
White.
guy.
Yep, Roddy White. That's who it was. Gosh. Yeah, that's funny. That is good stuff. But
Mississippi State goes to Florida. Florida loses this game. Billy might not see the next one, but I think Mississippi State keeps it close. I think Florida wins.
man, Florida's out front favor pretty good in this game.
They are. It's a little concerning in that regard.
I think 8.5 is a lot. That's a lot of points for I don't know. It's great. It's scary because what team are you going to get? I mean, Are you going to get the Florida team that played at Texas, or are you going to play at the Florida team that's played Miami? I mean, you just don't know what team you're going to get. So,
who could say?
Scary.
Oregon goes to Rutgers. Tough travel spot, letdown after last week. Rutgers can put up points. I wouldn't be shocked if that one's interesting. I think Oregon wins.
Yeah.
Talent just should be better, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon came out. Dan Lanning he does a really good job coaching, so I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and kind of laid the hammer down and scored about a bajillion. But I don't know. 17 and a half looks like a lot of points, so I'm not touching it.
The hottest team in the country, the UCLA Bruins, are at home to play against Maryland. Shockingly, UCLA is favored by 3 points.
Are you buying or are you selling?
Can you sell right now? I mean, Maryland is. They were up 20 on Washington and they were up 7 late on Nebraska, but they did blow those games, and now they have to go all the way out west. I don't know. I think at some point this UCLA thing is going to crash and burn, but I don't know if it's against Maryland.
This offensive coordinator's riding high. They're scoring points, baby. Give me UCLA to cover the 3.5. Why
I'll
not?
take the over 51.5.
Okay, I like it.
Texas, recently ranked again after beating OU, is on the road at Kentucky. It is basketball season for those Wildcats. They had Big Blue Madness the other night, so good for them. Kentucky is a 12.5-point home underdog. If Texas is serious about their business, they'll win this game going away. We'll just see if they are. It's nothing for me.
Yeah, Kentucky's the worst team in the SEC by a long shot. Texas should win this handily, but you never know what product we're going to see. So if they come out the way they played OU last week, I think this could be a bundle of points, but I'm not going to touch it either.
If they bottled up what they had in the second half against OU, it's Hammertown, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Penn State, as we mentioned, is going to Iowa. They are now 3-point road dogs. I would take Iowa, to be completely honest with you. I don't know how you could have faith in this Penn State team, but it would be very Iowa to lose like 6-3.
Yeah. Give me the under. Disgusting. 39.5. I don't care. Give it to me.
This game screams like 10-6.
Give it to me. 39.5. This is El Asico 2.0.
There's probably a safety involved somewhere. Yeah, just ridiculous football. Missouri goes to Auburn. Has Auburn quit? Missouri 1.5-point favorite, basically a pick on the road. I would take Missouri, but if Auburn is not quit yet, they're live in this game.
Yeah, I don't know what I like to do on this one either. I almost want to say that Auburn would be a good pick right here, even money line. Just because I think that maybe Missouri takes another loss back-to-back weeks after that Alabama one, and Auburn's on the verge of winning one. They've been so close in so many games; they're due to win one at some point in time. So, yeah.
Lastly, Florida State has lost 10 straight conference games. Can they snap the skid at Stanford? They are 17.5-point road favorites.
Surely. The Cardinals are terrible. They're stinky bad.
The Cardinal are not starting Mason Heinschel, who is an absolute. I mean, that kid against Florida State, true freshman from Pitt. They benched Holstein, and they've gotten so much better with Heinschel in there at quarterback. He's a player. He can spin it.
Neutral field. Who's favored? Oklahoma State, Stanford.
Stanford.
Is it by 6, maybe 6.5?
Probably not that many. Let's not get carried away.
4,
like 3. Although if Oklahoma State's got the section of drunk shirtless dudes out there, maybe it's a different story.
That was cool. I actually really liked that. I saw the guys in the stadium waving their shirts around. I actually was on the phone with a client earlier today that told me that the place was a ghost town this past weekend.
It looked like it. And it wasn't just because it was a bunch of dudes who weren't very tan either.
My real question of the day is, if you were to take Oklahoma State and you put them on a neutral field against the Nevada Wolfpack, who's favored in that game?
Probably Oklahoma State, but not by as much as you would like them to be.
Oh, gosh.
I think they might be a pick against like Hawaii, and that's a problem.
It depends on if you're on neutral site. If you go to Hawaii, Hawaii's 1.5-point favorites.
At least. Nobody walks onto the island and beats Hawaii, though. That's an unfair
Yeah,
matchup.
that's an unfair matchup. You just can't.
Just
They're gonna
ask
hit the
Stanford. They couldn't do it.
they're gonna hit the hawk on you before the game. You don't stand a chance.
Exactly. Nobody walks into TC Chang Stadium and comes out of there alive.
Oh, jeez.
Anything else? Anything else? Week 8. It's starting to take shape here. This is going to be. I'm excited for you this weekend. It's a CFP eliminator. Big
Yeah.
game for Notre Dame. Nice little night slate there with the Holy War. We got Notre Dame. We got Tennessee, Bama. We got Texas going at 6 o'clock. I'll be tuned in, man. It's going to be a fun night.
This might be one of the best 11 a.m. Uh, lineups that we've had all year. I mean, genuinely.
It's a really underrated slate of games this weekend, man.
Yes, it is. This 11 a.m. slate is going to be. You could see some serious overtime games in this 11 a.m. slate.
Yeah, we could
I
get
mean,
we can get some action here, man.
your biggest your biggest spread in the 11 a.m. slate is 13 and a half, and it's Eastern Michigan against Miami of Ohio. But outside of that, you got 9.5 Army Tulane and 6.5 Washington Michigan, which 6.5 just doesn't seem like a number that I would bet on. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of pick'em games in this one, several pick'em games, almost 5 pick'em games. So that'll be that'll be good stuff. I'm excited, and I can't
I
wait to see
will.
Brian Kelly
I
get fired this weekend.
I guarantee I'll have plenty of eyes on OU too because I just want to see what that looks like against South Carolina.
We might see a lot of SEC coaches get fired within the next 3 weeks, maybe 4
We
weeks.
might. We really might.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be an interesting rest of the season. So,
Hey, you just keep Marcus Freeman safe up there, man.
oh God, I saw the Penn State fans just wanted him so bad. Good luck, kick rocks.
Best I can do is Chris Ash
Yeah, you can have Chris Ass. Yeah, you can have him. We'll
and
straighten
Mike
him away.
Denbrock. We'll throw him in for free.
We'll give you Denbrock for free if he continues to run if he continues to run the freaking stupid Wildcat, then we'll pay you.
Yeah.
If he continues to run, oh, Edsel, don't even get me started on this. We got stopped by NC State last week, twice in the red zone, once on 4th and 1, once on 4th and 3. And Mike Denbrock said, 4th and 1, best running backs in the country. Let's run sprint out to the right. Get stopped. So then on 4th and 3, Mike Denbrock said, I'm really going to fool him here. Sprint out to the right. What an idiot. The same exact play that didn't work the first time, go figure, did work twice. What a
They'll
moron.
never see it coming.
Yeah, dude, I think they're never going to see us running sprint out to the boundary right here. I'm the biggest. I already know you're a big hater on this. I hate the fact that teams want to run to one side of the field and run sprint out to one side. You're eliminating the whole entire field. The red zone's already small. Why
Especially the
make it?
short side of the field. Why are we
Yes,
running to the boundary?
yes. It's already small in the red zone. There's already a ton of players all packed in. Why cut the field in half? Just dumb. Just dumb stuff. Anyways.
It's brain dead stuff from brain dead people.
Yeah, Mike Denbrock, run a screen pass. What an idiot.
Would you
Just
rather
throw,
run sprint out or wildcat?
I'd rather run Wildcat than him run sprint out. I think at least if we would have ran Wildcat from the 1, I think Jadarion Price would have got a first down.
Hey, the evolution of that though is we're going to sprint out Jadarian Price out of the wildcat and then he'll throw it. We'll
Yeah,
never see that coming.
they'll never see that coming. Now, we would have had we would have had a much better chance if you would have said, Jeremiah Love, run up the middle and hurdle. Then we probably would have got a first down. I mean, just click the triangle button, buddy. That's all you're good for. Just click the triangle button. Just click Y. Click Y.
Was it Love or Price who got a little bit dinged up last week?
It was Love. He said he hurt his knee a little bit, but it was nothing wrong with it. He ended up coming back and playing.
Okay, so he won't be limited at all this week.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay.
It was actually 2 weeks ago when Love got hurt, when he got dinged up a little bit.
Oh, geez, I'm stupid.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, he played the whole entire game last week, and he's fine. We'll be fine. Now, we've lost Ashton Craig for the rest of the season now after last week's game. Our the best center in college football is now out for the rest of the year for the second season in a row. And they've come out and said the offensive tackle, Jagasaw, is out for the rest of the year after his injury on the ATV accident where he broke his arm. He's decided to sit out for the rest of the season. So we won't have either one of our veteran offensive linemen for the rest of the year. So
Guarantee we'll be writing into those NIL contracts that they can't use ATVs or golf carts or
yeah.
go skiing or anything like that here in the future.
Yeah, what an idiot. What an idiot. Yeah, maybe probably like lay off the beer when you get on the ATV when you have a full season. It happened on 4th of July. Like you're about to play college football in a month. Maybe don't be reckless and do something stupid. What an idiot.
Yeah, be a man and blow your hand off with fireworks.
Yeah, there you go. If you would have lost some fingers, you still would have been able to play. I
You can
mean,
still go club and use that hand and freaking stab arm that guy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Talking about clubbing people, we didn't ever get to talk about this. I don't know if you watched much of. I know you watch NFL, obviously. I don't know if you remember watching much of the NFL game when the Cowboys played the Giants. Um, but the offensive tackle for the Giants got a personal foul for clubbing in the back of the head, and he got a fine of like $25,000 or something. And the whole entire time I'm watching and I'm seeing this, I would have said, "Man, I would have been fined over $1 million in my college career if that would have been called all the time." That was my go-to. That was my go-to move.
Kick, punch, and go. What am I supposed to
Yeah.
punch?
Yeah, edge rusher's coming right down. Edge rusher's rushing hard off the edge. I'm gonna hit him on the back of the head. He's gonna fall right down on his face. Way
Exactly.
better. Way better.
It's a good thing that the gag didn't fine us.
Well, I did lead the conference in holdings one year, so I was just finding the team instead.
That's right. That's right. Oh, geez. Yeah. And then, golly, like you've got last night, you've got Brian Branch just after the game, just beating the crap out of Juju Smith Schuster.
I see the picture of him on the ground where he's just like skull caps coming off.
It looks like a drunk night out. He's like, huh?
He's just getting ragdolled on the ground. Someone posted this picture is hard, and it's just Juju's mouth bleeding. It's like, what's hard about a grown man getting mollywopped?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure that's the flex you think it is, buddy.
This picture is hard. This dude got punched in his he got palmed in his helmet so hard he fell down.
I was about to say he had his helmet on the entire time and
Yeah.
somehow got his nose beat up.
Dude, he got like punched and like uppercutted in his helmet so hard that it was like it almost knocked him out. I was like,
Yeah.
what in the world? I've never seen that happen before. Like you got CTE without getting hit.
Brian Branch earned that 1-game suspension that he's appealing. It's like, I'm not
Good.
sure what he's going to say to get that overturned. It's like, you're on freaking 4K HD right here, buddy.
Yeah, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance here.
No, not at all.
Oh, jeez.
Shout out to Bichon. He had 240 all-purpose yards tonight against the Bills in a win. Best running back in football.
Yeah, my fantasy team is on a decline now. We're gonna fall to 3-3 this week. We scored 157 points and we can't get the job done. It's just Emeka Ibuka's injured. Quentin Johnson is injured. We're just on a steady decline. One question for the listeners? I'm in a keeper fantasy football league. One of the guys is brand new to the league this year. Malik Neighbors gets hurt. Instead of putting him on his IR list, he drops him off of his football team. So, instinctually, I saw it happen, and I picked Malik Neighbors up instantaneously and put him on my IR list.
Correct.
Because why would you drop him? You're an idiot. Now he's arguing in our group chat 14 days later that he wants him back. Well, tough tot. You're not getting him back. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't have dropped him.
Yeah, be better. He was like, I didn't know there was an IR list. I said, have you ever played fantasy football in your life? You just signed up for mudding leagues and you never played before? Like, what an idiot.
What's the know your rules, like KYR? Normally it's KYP, know your personnel, but know your rules, man.
I mean,
that's disrespectful to the league to go back and ask to have him back.
Yeah, I told him now. I told him I'm not giving him back. If you convince the commissioner that the commissioner is going to make me give him back, then I'll give him back. But I'm not giving him back until the commissioner says something.
It'd be like if we were playing a golf match against each other and
No.
I gave you a 4-footer for birdie. And then 2 holes later, all of a sudden I'm 1 down. It's like, oh yeah, no, I actually want to see that putt from 2 holes ago. It's like, no, we're done.
Yeah.
The weeks have moved on, my friend.
Yeah. Did I tell you about my match with Tyler St. John's?
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
He gave me 4 aside. We get done with the front 9, and we're tied on the front 9. So we push the front 9 over, and we get to the back 9, and he's up 1 hole. He's up by 1 going on to 15. I end up winning 15, so we're back to even. I won 16 with par, so I'm up 1. We get to 17, par 3, 145 yards. I stick it to a foot, turned around, made birdie on him, won the match. We get to 18. He goes, okay, double or nothing. I said, okay, sounds good. I'm not paying anything, and I don't want your money anyways. But it'll be way cooler if it's double the amount of money. So then I proceed to hit driver right down the pipe. He hits driver too far out of bounds. I walked up there, chipped it just off the green, I hit a wedge shot just off the green, chipped it on, made my par putt, and he ends up making bogey and owed me double money. And there was nothing funnier than the silent golf cart ride back to the car from there. So he said he will be picking our golf course that we play at for match number 3 now.
Oh, sounds like a sore loser.
Tad bit.
He just didn't want that work like we gave the pro and Metter back in Branson. Just
Yeah.
didn't want it.
You want to hear the most disgusting part of our golf round?
Yes, I do.
I won number 9, which Lincoln East is it has some difficult holes, and number 9 is a very difficult hole at Lincoln East, especially when you're playing the Blues, that it's already playing 220 on the par 3, and the wind's blowing into your face.
Mm-hmm.
I won number 9 with triple.
That's sick.
Yes. I won number 9 on a triple, and I saw Tyler St. John's for the first time in his life shank a shot off the tee box. Complete shank, almost in the street. He hit it across number 1 and almost went in the road. Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah. So I still made triple. My wedge game was atrocious. I chunked every single wedge I hit almost all day long until 17. But yeah, almost every single wedge I hit all day long was just absolute chunk. So it was gross.
That's so sick.
I said next time we come to go play our match, I'll be hitting 100 range balls with wedges only before I come out and play.
Yeah, right.
I'll make sure I'm dialed for you next time. I gave him way too many. I could have beat him by 8 holes easily if I would have been able to hit a wedge.
Yeah. See, I can't wait for next year because we've got wherever we're going to go on our golf trip next year. I've got Vegas again next summer. I'm lots of destination golf for the kid next year.
Yeah. I got Cabo the week before we're supposed to go to I think they're talking Scottsdale maybe, but I got Cabo right before, so
how about that?
It'll be a good little vacation trip for the boys.
Hey, you'll deserve it after. Speaking of, you're about tapped out of tax season here too, right?
2 days. Still have
2 days and then pencils down.
Yeah, still have clients that haven't sent me anything yet. 2 days will be interesting work.
I can assure you that there were people, not today because today was a federal holiday, yet I was still there for some reason. I can guarantee you there will be people tomorrow who come to us trying to collect things still. It's like, hey man, you know it's due tomorrow, right? Your CPA is about to bend you over that desk over there with what they're going to charge you.
I actually I was in the gym today working out, and one of the guys was asking me why I hadn't been going to the 5:30 a.m. class, and I was like, I'm in tax season, but we're almost done, 2 more days. And he looks at me and goes, wait, 2 more days to get your taxes done? And I said, yeah. He goes, shoot, I didn't know that. I really got to get this 1098 to my account, and he's going to fire me. I said, well, that's not good. Probably. That's not promising at all.
You might include a bottle of whiskey whenever you go drop that off.
Yeah. I can't believe they didn't give you guys the day off on what used to be Columbus Day and is now Indigenous Peoples Day.
No respect.
No respect for the bank.
We were the only bank on our street who was open.
You were probably the only bank in the country that was open today.
One of the few, I can guarantee.
Man.
Complete crap, nonetheless. But
hey, you
that's
get
above my pay grade.
Hey, you get free golf rounds though, so you just can't be mad about it.
I was about to say Friday I get to go to a one of our customers is hosting a golf tournament, so I will be there for that. So
there you
not
go.
bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. So
not bad. But yeah, I mean, hey, good for you. We'll finally get you out of taxis and you'll get to open up your calendars a bit and many more rounds of golf in your future.
Yeah, you just let me know. You let me know a weekend that you want to come up, and we can go tear down the Watonga National Forest.
There we go. Say the word, buddy.
Yeah. So.
All right, dude. That'll do it for us. Appreciate you guys hanging out, listening. We were back on Apple and Spotify, as well as everywhere else you get your pods last week. So we'll get that back again this week. We're set. We're ready. We got a big weekend of football coming up. So until next time, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. Who could say? Peace out.